Okay. Uh, I know there are some uh, non-native English-speaking people around. I will try to slow down my English, all right, and hopefully you can follow me. Yeah. Once again, very good morning. My name is Jeffrey. I will be your guide for 2.5 hours, whether you like it or not. So I hope you like it. On the east side of Singapore. So Singapore is actually a shape of a diamond. Alright, shape of a diamond. So the four pointed part is north, south, east, and west. So you have just landed on the east side of Singapore, Changi Airport. And going on this expressway, it will lead you all the way to the west side of Singapore. Alright, all the way to the west side of parallel to the southern coast of Singapore. So this on your left, this is the southern coast of Singapore. Alright, so one of the biggest, but the biggest seaport in Asia. Okay. And we call it the Tuas Mega Port. Okay, so this way we still have plenty of sea to reclaim from. Alright, in fact, as we are speaking now, there's one very big mega project that's going to happen. That's going to take another 50 years. We're going to make an island out of this water. Alright, so we're going to make island. This project is called a Long Island project. Alright, later on when you go to Marina Bay, you will see how big Marina Bay is. But this project is going to be double the size of Marina Bay. Okay, it just got approved this year, so it will take 50 years. Unfortunately, I will not be able to see it in my lifetime. But some of you may, you come back 50 years later, you see a Long Island here. And this island, you will have, of course, high rises. You have residential, office, entertainment area, and so on. And between the island and the mainland, okay, the body of water is going to be enclosed up, and then it's going to be a freshwater reservoir. Okay, so this is what this Long Island project is going to be about. All right, very, very ambitious. It's going to take 50 years. All right, okay. So now we are now traveling on this scenic part of. If you look at on your right, you see these potted plants, right? You see these potted plants on the center of the expressway, dividing both sides. Why is it potted plants instead of really grounded plants? You see that these plants are actually potted plants. They are not growing on the ground. Okay, let me tell you a secret. This is really a secret. Okay, please promise that you keep to yourself. All right? Okay. Seriously, this is an emergency. This part. Okay, here now it's all planted. No, okay, so it's not counted from earlier where we passed. That is actually earmarked as an emergency runway in case something happened. All right. There's actually an army camp next to it. This army camp are trained to remove the plants within less than half an hour. Okay, so if there's an emergency for whatever reason, fire, hijack, whatever reason, and then planes have to land somewhere. All right, so there's army troops there, army camp there. They are standby, okay, to remove all the potted plants within less than half an hour, and then the planes, can land and so on. So this is an emergency plan. All right, so this is what Singapore is all about. Singapore, they do not leave things by chance. Okay, we do not leave things by chance. Everything is meticulously planned. Right, so even this all this reclamation and all that has been planned like 50 years ago. This Marina Bay where we are going is a project that was planned 50 years ago. Okay, 50 years ago. Okay, I still remember as a kid, I was there, on the reclaimed land. It was an open reclaimed land. We were flying kites, we were playing football and all that, before anything can be built. Yeah, so everything is meticulously planned. All right. I'd like to bring your attention to this, to one policy that we have, this housing policy. You can see the house on your right. Okay, so we have a good mix of housing. Okay, we have what we call private housing and public housing. These are all private housing. These are condominium. All right. So, of course, the difference between the private and public housing is, of course, the private housings are developed by private developers. Public housing is developed by a government developer called the HDB, or just a short for Housing and Development Board. It's a statutory board under the Singapore Government Ministry of National Development, and they are tasked to build affordable public housing for the general residents. So about close to 80 to 85% of the residents in Singapore actually stay in the public housing. The balance about 10-15%, they are the ones that stay in private housing, which is of course more expensive. Right? So they are the higher middle and higher class of people who can afford to stay. But 85% of us actually own our own house, own our own flat. All right, so we don't rent. Okay, we don't rent. We don't pay rent. We actually bought the place belongs to us. We can sell as and when we like. All right, so about 85% of us actually stay in a public housing. All right, and if you look, I will show you some public housing as we come along. You from the facade, you already can't tell the difference. Yeah, because the quality is as good. The only difference between public and private housing is, of course, in terms of facility. Private housing is a condominium. Everything is catered. Within the estate, you have your clubhouse, you have your sauna, your gym, your tennis court, your swimming pool and whatever. Whereas in a HDB, in a housing development board, within the estate, yes, you can find amenities there within the estate, not within your area. So you can still find shopping malls, swimming pools, gym, schools and all kinds of things around the housing estate. Right? So it's still not so bad, not so far away. Yeah. So yeah, we are coming. Yeah. So this building on your right now, these are public housing. Okay, these blocks, these are public housing, right? Not so bad, right? Still having good view of the sea. Yeah. Okay, the same sea view. Okay, between this and that, it will cost you double the price. Okay. Yeah. So so it doesn't mean that public housing, you are in a very lousy location. So actually, the housing policy is such that we mix the rich and the poor. All right. So we have a very good housing integration system when we mix the rich and the poor. When Singapore was founded by Stamford Raffles in 1819, he came up with a divide and rule strategy. So he put the Chinese in one place, he put the Malays in one place, he put the Indians in one place, and he put the Europeans in one place. Okay, no integration. So it's easy for him to control. Right? He just need to have one spokesman for each community, and then he just get them into the office and say, okay, how's things are going and blah blah blah. Whereas now, so after we became independent, we actually changed the policy. So now we integrate. Okay, so we are a multi-racial, multicultural, multi-religious society. So we mix all of it. So I grew up with Indians on my right, Malays on my left, and all kinds of people on top of me and below me and so on. And when we were a kid, we played together, and we were very colorblind. Okay, I don't see you as an Indian or Malay or European or whatever. I see you just as another boy that I can bully or that I can play with and so on. Yeah, so we grew up like that, Yeah, so in terms of population, we have about close to 74% Chinese, right? 74. So Chinese is still the majority, 74% Chinese. In fact, I think we are the only non-China country. We forget about Hong Kong, forget about Taiwan, right? Because they're part of China. We are the only independent country that has the most number of Chinese outside China. Right, so 74% Chinese, 14% Malay, about 9% Indians, and 3% of others, Europeans, other Asian communities, and so on. But despite the fact that Chinese is the major population, the Chinese language is not the main language here. All right. So English is the main language. English is the business language. All right. So we, as a Chinese, we don't have a majority right. We don't have anything that is special to us because we are majority. No, everybody is treated the same. All right. In fact, our national language is Malay. Our national anthem is Malay. Our commands and instructions in the militaries are Malay. All right. And all of us, whether you are Singaporean, Malay, Singaporean, Chinese, Singaporean, Indian, you will have your own second language, your mother tongue. So I can speak Mandarin. My Malay Singaporean can speak Malay. Indian friends can speak either Hindi or Tamil. You have the right to your own language and culture. So there is no one culture or one language imposed upon us. So what unites us is only our business language, our commercial language, which is English. Yeah. So of course we owe this to our colonial master. Yeah, just like in India. Right? So we were part of the British colony before. Right. So before, of course, our business language is English. Yeah. So multi-racial, multicultural, right? Multi-religious. Right? So we have freedom of religious practice. You can have any kind of religion here. Okay. So you can find Marina Bay Reservoir. across there is actually a dam. We call it a barrage that separates seawater from fresh water. Yeah, so on the other side of the barrage, you see, this side is a freshwater reservoir. These two big domes you see, this will be these are the two biggest greenhouse in the world. Alright, one is called flower dome, one is called cloud forest. And then this flyer, which is 165 meter in height, is also the highest in the world. Alright, 28 capsule. Alright, 28 capsule, all fully air conditioned. On a clear day, if you look south, you can see Indonesia very clearly. And then next to it, this is the F1 peak. Alright, this is where we start our F1 race. The F1 peak. Alright, so this whole place, this whole place is called Gardens by the Bay. Alright, the bay meaning this Marina Bay area. Alright, and if you look quickly to your right, this is also our very iconic project in the Garden by the Bay. This is the Marina Bay Sands project. Alright, if you look, we have to leave the gardens by 12:45. Alright, so we should arrive in another 5 minutes, which is 12:10. We should leave by 12:45. I will bring you, those who are not taking the tram, I'll bring you to this place called everything. Not even your wallet, not even your wallet. Everything out, everything from up of the bus. So then, before Singapore was known as a city garden, and then after that became a garden in the city because of this. Now it's one of the best greenery state in the country. We see a lot of green plants and trees in the buildings in the city and so on. And then if you look at the top of the super tree, these are all opened up as a funnel, right? So the funnel has different purpose. Right, some funnels actually are used to collect water. So among all the 18 super trees, some are used to collect water, rainwater, and this water of course are used for watering the plants. Some are installed in the gardens in the night. And there are two plants that are actually used as a chimney. What is the chimney for? There's actually a power station in this place. There's a power station. I'll show you the power station. This power station is actually those guys. Yeah. So these super trees are again very iconic to Gardens by the Bay. For vertical farming, for solar, for water collection, for this exhaust gas emission. So here we are in garden in Golden Garden. In the night, the trees come alive. With the lights and so on. So it's a very different feeling in the night. In the day, of course, you just see in the night. The lights comes out, the trees come alive. Yeah, it's a very different view. So next time you come in the night as well.
What's here? What?
And then you walk spirally down.
take you about an hour to walk. And then you're walking in the midst of the clouds, walking in the midst of the treetops and so on. Right, so how to simulate the clouds? So the water mist, spraying and all that. Temperature inside is about 25 degrees, very comfortable. You can use air conditioning, yeah, and then you just take a slow walk around the square down. And then the plants inside, of course, is a reflection of the mountainous high mountain plants, right? You see. The other dome is a flower dome, same temperature, about 25 degrees, but more or less the sea level, so it's a semi-arid type of vegetation. Yeah. The cooling inside is the cooling in both domes are very environmentally friendly. We are not using air conditioning. We are not using air cooling. We are using chill water cooling. So instead of floor heating that you have in the winter country, right? This is floor chilling. Right, so we have chill water running below the ground, right, and cooling the ground. So you actually take out your shoes, you walk barefoot, the ground is feels right. So that's how we cool it. That way of cooling is actually the power that's needed for this chilling actually comes from the power station. So number one, because of the long timing, an hour walk dome, so you need 2 hours. Number two is of course this cooking is because of time. We don't have that time. We only have 40 minutes, right? Minimum time to spend in this garden, half a day. 2 hours here, another hour at the tree grove that I will show you later, and then probably another hour around the just take a slow walk around the garden. So you need at least in the night there are special shows. There is actually a night show called the Garden Rhapsody at the tree grove. Again, it takes you another. So you literally can spend almost actually in one whole day here. There's also places to eat and so on. So I will bring you down to down below where you can actually have a good measure of how big this dome is. These two domes, or what we call the greenhouses, are the biggest in the world. By the way, Garden by the Bay is voted as the number 8 best attraction in the world by TripAdvisor, and number 1 in Asia. So no regrets coming here, just to view, but make sure you come back again the next time, have more time, don't just stop over. So I'll bring you down to, we go down the escalator. And then the other room on your behind, this one is you walk to the top, and then you walk down. And then up to the floor. So this is like this is your and you can see all the different stations in the mountain. And the glass of this room, the glass is a special room. And this became our newest, latest reservoir, right? And this reservoir has a few purposes, it serves a few purposes, right? So one of it is, of course, to collect water, right? Collect water. So when it rains, the water is collected instead of going to the sea, it's collected. Number two, it also serves as a flood control. Number two, when there's one is of course heavy rainfall. Two is when there's high tide. Right? So when these two happen together at the same time, they will be quite a massive flood. We call it the 100-year-old flood. It comes, it still comes, once the net. So when it comes, what happens is that we use this to control. The dam opens up and it allows. One is the Singapore, one is by the lake. Yeah. By the nails? Okay, not really. This one also has sharp nails. Yeah. What is on this side of the line? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this power station
What's that? Do you want me to take a photo of you?
Here.
Thank you very much.
Grateful to the sponsor. Singapore Airlines, yes. Singapore Airlines, right? And of course, the other one is Changi Airport. Yeah, okay, Changi Airport. Yeah. All right. So these are the two sponsors. The market value of this tour is about $110 Sing dollars per head. All right. So it's a lot of money that they're sponsoring, and every day they're doing 3 tours. Every day, 7 days a week. Okay, 52 weeks a year. All right. So unless of course special reason they cancel the tour, but normally no. 3 tours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. So it's a lot of money for them. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? I'll be very honest with you. Okay, the purpose is to make you want to come back. Alright, it's to make you want to come back, and not only just come back and stop over, but come back and spend a few nights. So if you are visiting Singapore, for example, if you have a hotel booking in Singapore, you cannot enjoy this tour. You cannot. This one is only for transit, only for people like you who don't plan to be here. So we intentionally pull you out, you know, so that you will feel regret, you know. I should be here for 4 hours. Why I'm only here for 40 minutes, you know. Yeah. So it's intentional, you know. It's part of our
So honest.
you know, tourism marketing, you know, to sell Singapore to you. All right. So we want to show you a part of Singapore that that you like. Okay, so what we see here, we call this the new part of Singapore. All right. This part here and where we are going to later, the Marina Bay area. These are all 20 years below, 20 years and below, very young. Okay, but Singapore has very old part of Singapore. We have Singapore back in the 1800s, almost 200 years old. All right, so we have the old Singapore. You know, we have our Chinatown. Okay, we have our Chinatown. 我们的牛车水. Okay, we have Chinatown. We have the Little India. We have the Kampong Glam. Developed in stages. Right, we always believe in sustainability. Right, sustainability meaning, what does sustainability means? Sustainability means that you leave something for the future generation. We don't use everything at one go. All right, we don't finish all the resources at one go. We want to leave something for the future generation. So that's called sustainability. Right. So there are a lot of sustainability plans here, and you will notice that some of these buildings that are already built around these regions, they are more glass than concrete. All right. So again, this is a concept of energy saving. Right. So the glass, of course, is special glass. All right, to take in the light, but we don't take in the heat. So that you know, you need less electricity to power the lightings and so on. Yeah. Okay. So now we are heading to another place, which is the second and last place. Is called the Merlion Park. Hopefully in 10 minutes time. All right. So before you go to Merlion Park, I need to tell you the story of Merlion. Anybody? Those who have been to Singapore, you know what the Merlion story is about. Anybody knows? Not been to the Merlion Park? You've not been to Singapore. Because Merlion Park, Merlion is actually very, okay, which means sea village or sea town. So way before 1819, even up to down to the 13th century, 14th century, Singapore Island existed as Temasek, okay, as a sea village, as a fishing village, as a sea town. Okay, before Raffles founded it in 1819. Right, so it was known as Temasek then. So Salina Utama was a prince during that period in the southern Majapahit Empire, you know, where modern Indonesia is. So he was a prince then, and then one day he decides to go out for hunting. So he told his guys, get a boat ready, you know, to go out for hunting. And then when he was out at the sea, he happened to see this island with very nice white beaches, you know, and he told his men, let's go there, let's go to this island. And this island is actually Temasek. So when he was near to Temasek, when he was about to land, he saw an animal that has a bushy mane. You know, he asked his man, what animal is this? And the man told him this is a lion. You know, but later on, historian actually checked and told us that there's no record of lion in this region. Okay, so the animal he thought he saw was a lion. It was not supposed to be a lion. But anyway, the mistake was big. The man told him it's a lion. And he to Singapura. Singapura is actually a Javanese language. Singa means lion and Pura means city. So from Temasek he changed it to Lion City because he thought he saw a lion. Right? And Singapura, and that's how Singapore get its name from. From Singapura we become Singapore. Alright, so STB, Singapore Tourism Board, decided to use this legend, this story to create a tourist icon for Singapore. And he has a British curator to design this, and a head of a lion and a tail of a fish. And there you have a Merlion. Mer meaning marine, and lion means lion. So it's a marine lion, right? Okay. So this is where we are going, Merlion. Yeah. So Merlion, okay, if you go to the Merlion, you see the Merlion is actually spouting water. Right. So again, this is the Chinese belief. Right? The Chinese believe that water means wealth, prosperity. So the lion is spouting water all the time into the bay. Okay, and the bay is of course within, it's not flowing out. So water is the wealth is contained. Right? So when you are at the Merlion, there are many different ways where you can take picture with the Merlion. Right? We want to share the wealth with you. Okay, I on behalf of Singapore, I welcome you to take some of Singapore wealth back home. Alright, so in the form of the water. So you can You can take the water by drinking it. Open your mouth and you drink the water from the Merlion. You know, when it's spotting water, you can drink it and have somebody capture a picture of you drinking in the water. Alright, you may decide to catch the water, you know, with your hand. Okay, and some of you thinks that this is still not enough. You may decide to have your whole body wash, you know, your hand body wash with the water. Just go under the water and just, I mean, not physically under the water, but just for photograph taking. Yeah. So there are many different ways of taking picture with the Merlion. Yeah. So there are two Merlions there at the Merlion Park. One is the Mother Merlion, the other is the Cub Merlion. Mother Merlion weighs about close to 70 tons. Okay, close to 9 meters, very high. Alright, so here we are now. Okay, on your right, this is the Marina Bay area, and this is what we call the Merlion Park in general. Alright, so this is a very iconic bay area. Yeah. So we will be coming here. Okay, after we park the bus. Alright. So we will have. Let me see the time. Okay, we have to. We only have about 15 to 20 minutes here, so I need you to be back to the bus. Latest 140. Alright, 140. Right. So now it's 101. By the time we stop, will be about 110. Alright. So 140 latest. Right. So where we're going to alight you. You're going to come back later, right? 140. I once lose old couple here. They have to find their way back to the airport themselves. So please be back to the bus at 140. I will walk you to the Merlion Park. Fine dining, nice place, you know, to chill, you know, for business or for pleasure. Yeah. It's from the British. The British don't like it. Catch them and then send them to Singapore. So Singapore was part of the British penal colony. This one, St. Andrew Cathedral on your left now. Yeah, the oldest Anglican church in Singapore. Built 100% by Indian convicts. And you say the lightning never struck twice, but lightning struck twice here in this church. Okay, the same spot. Okay, the cathedral, the top part, and it was repaired twice. Right, so this is the St. Andrew Cathedral, the oldest Anglican church in Singapore. So we are now very, very close to where you're going to. So please again bring out all your things, right, and be back to this place where the bus will wait for us at 140. 140.